We got another big CGC unboxing coming up now. All right, guys, we're going to get into the CGC unboxing really quick. This is all silver and bronze. Everything we're about to open up was cleaned and pressed by the comic book presser. You could check out his website, thecomicbookpresser.com. Also, his Instagram as well. Before we get into this box, I do this every video. Hit the subscription button if you haven't already. The thumbs up. You're going to enjoy this. These are all just key issues here. Nothing modern. Everything key, silver and bronze. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this submission. Everything we're about to open will also be available at New York Comic Con. I have no idea if this video is coming out before New York Comic Con. It might not. We'll see. I have no idea. I just do the recording and the editing and the putting it on YouTube. So I guess this is all my responsibility. All right, let's get into it. This submission cost $691. So this was expensive. 9 books in here altogether. These were high value tiered, which is like 10-day turnaround. And let's get this. Let's do it this way. I gotta say, I want to open this. I already cut it open, save time, but I do love the way they ship now. CGC shipping. I do love this. These little things. Oh, this goes this way, I believe. Okay. Take this top off. I'm not gonna look. Here we go. This is all. Okay. I have it up. Of course, it's upside down. First up, Giant Size X-Men #1. Okay. First one up, Giant Size X-Men #1. This thing is looking beautiful. Might be off-white. So one thing before I get into this, I'm going to put this face down. Before I really get into this, which we're going to in a second, I don't get to see these books after they're cleaned and pressed. I've said this in previous videos. I'm going to say it again. What happens is I write up the CGC invoice. I mail the books to the presser with the CGC invoice. The presser does his thing, takes my invoice, puts it with the books, and he mails it to CGC himself with my invoice. So I never get to see what these books look like before they go to CGC. I only see them with the bends and the indents and the folds. I don't see the final product, so it's very important. All right, Giant Size X-Men #1. This one looks really nice. This one looks really good. What is that? Okay, that's on the outside. It's just a hair. Go figure. This one looks really, really nice. Back looks great. Top. Oh! That says 9.6. I did not expect a 9.6. Wow. That's not a cheap book. That is a 9.6 Giant Size X-Men #1. I have never had this book in this grade before. I don't know how expensive this is. We are going to get all the sales data and value at the end. Okay, let's let that sink in for a second. That's a Giant Size X-Men #1 in a CGC 9.6. What else could be in here? Let's find out. Okay. We have Amazing Spider-Man I gotta say, hold on. That is a Giant Size X-Men #1 9. I'm sorry, guys. Like, wow. All right. Okay, moving on. That's crazy. The comic book presser worked whatever magic he worked, because I didn't think that was a 9.6. I didn't think any of this stuff was like that high grade. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man #50. This is crazy. This is the first Kingpin. The back looks beautiful. But front looks really, we got your spine. This is a really, really, really nice copy. Amazing Spider-Man #50. First appearance of Kingpin. Classic cover as well. 7.0 white pages. That's a really nice book. This little bottom is really where most of the damage is done. It's right down there. And then a little bit of like a finger indent, color break right here from like turning the pages too rough. Right there. Wow. Did I mention we just opened a Giant Size X-Men #1 and a 9.6? can't wait to do the values on these. All right, next up. Amazing Spider-Man 14. This is the first appearance of the Green Goblin. This is a book I was actually specking on for a while before the Spider-Man movie, years and years and years ago. I sat on a lot of them. 5.0. I love that grade for that book. So all those big Spidey keys, 12, 13, 14, 15? No. Did we do 12? We did 13, 14. Anyway, it was Mysterio, it was Kraven, it was Green Goblin. They all came back 5 and 5/5s. Mid-grade. Amazing. Fantastic. This submission is crazy right now. Here's a number 9. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 9. This is the first appearance of Electro. Little bit of a stain on the back. A little bit of crunch. This is not going to be a 5.0. This one is not. 4.0. White pages though. White pages on that. Yeah, that's about right. A little bit. 4.0, man. Presents incredibly well. White pages, so, not a lot of fading there. Giant size. I am in shock. Amazing Spider-Man 121. This is the death of Gwen Stacy. Now, I do remember sending this book in. Oh, man, this is white pages. I do remember sending this book in thinking, I've never seen one this high grade before. This is a really nice one. Death of Gwen Stacy, 9.6 white pages. Yeah, this looked very high grade when I sent it in. Before getting cleaned and pressed. There's only like one tick on here. And that's got to be where that 9.6 comes from. Maybe 2. That's a gorgeous copy of that book. All right, we have 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, these are upside down. I don't even need to look. All right, what do we got here? Amazing Spider-Man 129. This is the first appearance of Punisher. Imagine this comes in a 9.6. This looks really good too. This looks really good too. First Punisher. Back looks great. All right, what do we got here? 9.4 white pages. This submission is escalating very quickly. We right off the rip. This thing, yeah, there's a couple ticks in here. I see. This was a wild one. This was a wild one. We're not done yet. Amazing Spider-Man 122. Now this is the death of Green Goblin. This one looks pretty good too. I don't think this is going to be as high as the Gwen. I would love matching 9.6s. 9.0 white pages. Yeah, there's a few ticks on here, but still 9.0. We can't, we're getting a little spoiled here. This is an insanely great grade for this book. 1973. 9.0 white pages. Yeah, we can't get spoiled. These grades are insane. The Comic Book Presser. Check him out. Check him out. X-Men number 4, first Quicksilver, first Scarlet Witch, first Toad, first Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, also the second appearance of Magneto. Now this one is a little bit of staining on the back cover, which is a bummer because it's actually in really good shape. Okay, what do we got there? 4.5. Very nice. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right. I'm still last one. I'm still almost shaking here. X-Men number 1. Do you want me to read what this one is? Origin, first appearance of the X-Men. Professor X, Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, Beast, and Marvel Girl. And first appearance of Magneto. Now, obviously, this isn't a 9.6. Oh my God, right? No, this isn't a 9.6. I'm happy with anything. 3.5. I'm happy with anything at this point. You can't get me upset. Unless this thing had a purple label, I wouldn't have been upset. So we have to get the value of these. This is going to take me a couple minutes. It's not going to take you long. You guys just sit and wait. Let's take a breath real quick, maybe, on this submission. This is probably the best CGC submission I've ever had value-wise ever. The grades were exceptional. The books were tremendous. This is crazy. All right, let's get some value now. Let's get you some sales data. All right, let's go. Let's get into some values. And let me tell you, this submission got away from me quickly. This is crazy. Okay, here we go. We're going to start out. Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man number 50. We're going all out of order here, so just be ready. Amazing Spider-Man 50. This is the first Kingpin. This one came in under 7.0. Beautiful cover. The 7.0 coming in at $1,600. Very, very nice. Amazing Spider-Man 14. Guess which book is the most expensive in this one? Amazing Spider-Man 14. That is the first Green Goblin. This one comes in at a 5.0. Such a great grade for this book. I'm really happy. This one's retailing at about $2,500. Now, of course, these are averages based on last sales, 90-day average. I'm just kind of roundabout numbers here. Amazing Spider-Man number 9. This is the first Electro. This one, this 4.0, is coming in at $800. Super duper affordable. Very nice. We're going to jump here a little bit. Amazing Spider. This one might throw you off. Amazing Spider-Man 122. That's the Death of Green Goblin. A 9.0. Let me give you a second. What do you think this one comes in at? At a 9.0. $500. I feel like that's a little low, but what the hell do I know? Let's go now to the Amazing Spider-Man 121. Death of Gwen Stacy in a 9.6. This one came in at $1,700. That's a nice book. That's a great price. Unfortunately, I feel like that's a book that you have to really want in that grade. It's not something you just see on the wall and decide to buy. I don't know. I could be wrong. They're all going to be at New York, and then we'll see. Next up, the last Amazing Spider-Man book we're going to talk about is the 129, the first appearance of Punisher in a 9.4 white pager. This one came in at $4,200. Absolutely incredible grades there. Let's move on to the X-Men. X-Men number 4. This is the first Brotherhood, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Toad, second Magneto. X-Men number 4 coming in at a 4.5. $1,150. I almost think this is slightly undervalued too. I should have looked and checked on what this was valued at like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I think that's a little undervalued, but no complaining. Fantastic. Great grade, great value. Let's move on. Let's do the giant size of the X-Men one. Let's do the X-Men number 1 next. The X-Men number 1 coming in at a 3.5. $6,200. Here's something crazy. Back in 2021, I sold an X-Men 3.5, and I think it was like $14,000. That was like 2021 or 2022, like at the absolute peak. So this thing has dropped significantly. It's still expensive. Don't get me wrong. It's still very expensive, but much more affordable than it was a few years ago. Last but not least, giant size X-Men number 1 in a CGC 9.6. What do you think? Take a guess. What do you think this comes in at, value-wise? CGC 9.6. It is off-white to white pages. 9.6 comes in at $10,500. This one totally, like, that put me in shock. Like, I should have been jumping up and down and being overly excited, but opening that up and seeing a 9.6 just kind of caught me way off guard. Way off guard. That's going to be on the wall in New York Comic Con. Very expensive. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. So that's it for this one. Beautiful books, amazing grades, everything across everything. The comic book presser worked absolute magic, and every single one of these books, I shouldn't say every single one of these books, a lot of these books had grease pen on them, which sometimes, I feel like sometimes CGC will hit you in the high grades, they'll knock you down. In the mid grades, they just kind of it's not as big of a deal, but these things were such high grade that grease pen probably would have dinged it down a little bit. So big shout out to the comic book presser. You can check him out, thecomicbookpresser.com. You can check him out on Instagram. He did wonders here. So that's it for this one. New York Comic Con around the corner, or maybe it's in the past. I don't know when this video is coming out. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, keep it comics.